Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of Miss Ziggy's Dog Tribe. Today we are here in Pune with Koira Club. That's
Hello.
Sahil Sharma, Amruta Patwardhan.
Hi.
And today we are going to be talking about leash walking, something that most pet parents struggle with, most dogs struggle with. Okay, so guys, can you all describe an ideal leash walk?
Yes. So, leash walk is essentially an important bonding activity with your pet and vice versa. Your leash walk should ideally be 50% of a power walk and 50% of sniffari, as Sahil cutely calls it. So, a sniffari is basically a sniffing safari. And you can include fun activities like urban agility, like use your surroundings to do some agility and practice your commands and just
Like
jumping through a bench and then getting off, and just going around objects or trees, like there are trees everywhere.
Nice.
So yeah, something like that.
Don't jump on people though.
So Sahil, can you tell us why the sniffari is so important?
Well, the sniffari is very, very important on a dog's walk because 70% of their brain is actually dedicated to sniffing, right? And it's via sniffing they get to know about the world around them. So that's why we really encourage that. Well, 50% you do the power walk to satiate the physical stimulation aspect of it, and the sniffing around part of it, that basically will, along with your urban agility and what have you, it will satiate the mental stimulation part of it.
So when they go up to like car tires and sniffing other dogs, pee, poop, etc.
Yes.
They need to,
Who's
come
be a
here?
little careful of the poop.
Yeah. Who has gone from here? Who has come to this car? So don't just focus on tiring out the dog by making the dog pant because you have to walk like 1 kilometer. So today we walk the dog 1.5. No, what is important is sniffing as well, because nose work is the primary thing that dogs do.
All dogs sniff.
Yeah. And it's one of the best mental stimulation activities that you can give any dog all over the world.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Now that we know a little bit about what an ideal leash walk is, let's talk about what are a few things that we can avoid doing so that we have a successful leash walk.
A very common thing that we see on the streets literally every day is people using the other end of the leash to hit the dog, because the dog is probably smelling something they don't want. It could be poop or something. Another thing is people do tether their dogs at home, like they tie the dogs up to the leash. Don't use the same leash that you're walking with the dog.
Okay.
It should be a different leash.
This
at
is
home.
where you're punishing the dog for something.
It could be anything. It could be a punishment. It could be a timeout. In so many houses, they even tie the dog up because the maid is doing her work. So avoid doing those things with the leash.
So you're saying just use a different leash rather than the same one you're using
Yes,
for walking.
yes.
Okay.
Because again, tethering is something that some dogs do take time to get conditioned to. They bark, they yell, and in anxiety, there is a big chance they can chew off it. And also, there is a negative impact about the leash, and the leash is about happy time.
Right.
Speaking of happy times with the leash, every dog who loves walks, which is like 90% of the dogs love walks, they have that association. So they see the leash or even hear the buckle, they are all over the place. They're probably running around or spinning and just very happy, which is very cute to watch. But at the same time, it is important that you don't use that example as an entertainment activity when you have friends over or you have guests over. Am I right?
Oh, look how excited my dog gets when the leash is out.
Yeah. So don't it's
kind
not
of
an
like a
entertainment.
false alarm.
Yeah, it's a false
Yeah.
alarm.
Yeah.
And the dog, it just confuses the dog.
Yeah.
So definitely don't do that.
In my humble experience, what I have experienced is that people are like, when I get the leash out, my dog is super excited, and then the moment I get him out of the house, he drags us outside the building, and once, like 20 minutes later, he settles down and then he's fine. I'm like, okay, do you know what the problem is? We're like, no, like, you have, before leaving for the walk, you have spent the last 5 minutes riling up your dog for, who wants to go gummy gummy? The dog is like, I want to go, I want to go, I want to go.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, you want to go gummy gummy? Okay, let's go gummy
Yeah.
gummy. And the dog is out of the door, out of the gate, and you're practically, again, as I said, you're practically lining up for a shoulder surgery because you're, so that is one thing.
Yeah.
Another thing that I would honestly suggest is that, especially when you're teaching your puppy to walk outdoors, start indoors first. And one of the most common things that I have observed is when the puppy is pulling, the pet parent, out of concern, of course, it's a good intention, what they tend to do is they tend to lean forward to compensate. And so they are thinking that the puppy will not get choked.
Right.
What they are actually doing is they're teaching the puppy, pull harder. I will keep giving you more slack.
Right.
Right? Instead, the puppy can learn that, you know what, pressure means bad. Bad equals to we don't get to walk, we don't get to explore. Right? And no pressure means we get to go further, we get to go faster, because again, slow is sure and sure is fast. Right? So you get to go further, you get to go faster. And so no pressure equals to that. So teach your puppy, teach your dog to walk like that, and honestly, in that case, you will have like one of the most bulletproof ways of, having a successful leash walk also.
And also, like we discussed before, the leash walk is about focusing on the walk with your pet. It's the bonding activity. So when you're going out for a walk, and if you run into another dog, don't introduce the dogs on leash over 3 seconds. Let's say somebody you know very well, somebody, probably your neighbor and their dog. Don't introduce the dogs on leash because they get entangled. You don't know what the trigger
This is like
sets
dance
off.
happening where
You don't know
Exactly.
where the trigger sets off. And the dog also needs to understand that when I go for a walk, it is about me and my owner taking me out on safaris and going out, doing my business, looking at the environment. It is not about meeting other dogs, because then that is the thing that the dogs feel that that is what we're going to go out and do, meet people.
We actually, when I take Ziggy out, she's anyway so distracted most of the time
Right.
that we don't meet other dogs usually. And like you said, for a very short period of time, if that's the case, because again, it takes away from the main goal
Exactly.
of the walk.
Correct.
And the fun element for her then goes away.
Right. So it's a 3-second rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like essentially, you're walking down the road and say, maybe you see me, you'll be like, hi Sahil, I'll be like, hi Neha, how are you? I'm good, how are you? I'm good, and you're off.
Yeah.
That entire interaction just takes 3 seconds altogether. And then you're on your way. So
This actually reminds me of when I was a kid and my mom used to take me shopping with her, and she would meet some random auntie and be talking for half an hour, and I'd just be standing there like, when is this gonna end? I'm thinking Ziggy is thinking the exact same thing if I stop.
Exactly.
And there could be days where even if your dog is friendly with other dogs, or your dog could be selective about other dogs, there might be a day when your dog is not feeling like doing that.
Yeah.
Because again, behavior is something you can teach, emotion is something you opt for.
Right.
So there could be a day that your dog is not feeling like meeting another dog, and you're like, hey, meet your Tommy, meet your friend. That dog will be like, get lost.
Yeah.
I don't want this.
And the other side is that becomes their primary motive, to go and bully other dogs. Like
What they're
forcefully.
trying to do is keep that other dog away because they're afraid.
And even if the other dog is demanding it, you should know what you want with your dog.
It's your dog, not that other person's dog's dog.
Yeah.
Another thing that we do that really helps is, I don't put the leash on Ziggy when she's completely distracted.
Yes.
She knows she's very focused. I make sure that she's in a sit, a
Right.
stay. She's
Right.
making eye contact with me, and that's when I clip it on.
Right.
So, automatically at home, only from the beginning before we
Correct.
leave the house, that contact, that
Yes.
eye contact is there,
Yes.
and communication between us.
Exactly.
Right. Instead of entertaining the excitement part,
Yeah.
you should let the dog know that sit properly, be calm about it.
Yeah.
Put the leash on, and put the leash on only when the behavior that you want.
Yeah.